Hi there, welcome to the Breathless blog, edition number 2. To those brave souls who have came back for more of my insights and thoughts about my photography, and albeit in I suppose an unconventional way after slogging out for a run. Thanks for joining. Now, today, I know it doesn't quite look like it, but I've actually had a bit of a recovery run. So when I spoke to you last, version number 1, the source of the inspiration for this little chat was following a run that probably was a little bit longer than what I was used to in recent times. So today, just dialed it back, took it a little bit easier, tried to take care of myself, which is actually quite a poignant little segue into today's conversation with you. Without talking about running too much, because as I explained, I'm not the world's greatest runner and don't have a level of expertise in it. But one thing that I do know is that, we run to try and get a bit fitter, okay? So fitness isn't always necessarily achieved within the run itself. It's actually during the rest periods that we can grow and get stronger, be re-energized, and then as a result, have a better outcome when we do decide to turn up and run. And in the, 3 years as a full-time photographer, but also in the last decade as a hobbyist, small business owner, and to where I am now, that's one thing that I've absolutely can vouch for, is that rest as a creative person is just as important as getting out there and expending all your energy onto whatever ideas that you might have. The thing that I'm so passionate about, and I'm blessed and I suppose lucky in a way, is that I get to work and interact with people just about every day. So whether that's on shoots or planning shoots or, in the lead up to weddings or whatever it might be, that's fantastic. Now, my approach to my photography is one of emotion. It's one of buying in. And a little thing that sticks in my mind is that, if you want to buy in with someone's story, then you need to spend a little bit of yourself. And the reality is that that pot of money, or how much we have to spend, is quite limited. So, for example, the last couple of weeks, I'll take a step back. At the moment, I'm in the middle of one of the most fulfilling projects that I've ever worked on in my life, in my photography. As some of you might know, I do quite a bit of work for a school here in Brisbane, Nudgee College, which I love because it gets me involved in so many areas of people's lives. And I'm really fortunate to be part of that. But the project I'm working on at the moment is celebrating 130 years of the college's history. And what this project entails is actually catching up with about 50 to 60 different people from all walks of life. Male, female, young, old, from all different types of experiences that they've shared. So I'll catch up with them. The first part of my catch up with them is spent having a chat, listening to their life story, getting to know them as a person, getting to understand and empathize where I can with their story and what they've been through. And in doing that, actually sharing a little bit of myself with them so that they get to know me, and that we can build some rapport, feel comfortable with each other. And then the last, let's say 5-10% of our catch up is involved with me taking their photograph in their portrait. Such a great project to be a part of at the moment. But one thing I can tell you is that when you're catching up with so many people and being privileged enough to have them share their story with you, it's actually quite draining. And in the interest of being completely transparent, sometimes that draining is not necessarily, I feel a little bit tired today. It's actually reflecting on the conversation and some of the hard parts of people's lives that you're actually being shared with, I guess, is for the want of a better term. In the last couple of weeks, for me, for example, I've had a conversation with a young fellow about his time growing up and then losing his mum quite suddenly while he was in year 12 and how he was going to overcome that. I've had a chat with a younger fellow again from born in East Timor, moved out to Australia, but also some of the racial taunts and outright nastiness that he's experienced in his life. Today I spent time with an elderly man speaking about losing 2 of his sons who passed away last year. Those things, at the time that you are listening to them and embracing and soaking up everything that they are, I've found that it sometimes isn't until a few hours or even a couple of days after that event that the magnitude of what you've listened to and what those people have shared with you actually sinks in. So I think being aware of yourself as a creative person and understanding that you don't have an endless supply of energy and even creative energy to give to it. What is important is that while you're there with that person, that you commit and you give them 100% every bit of authenticity and understanding and listening that you possibly can. Because that's probably the other thing that I would value in this type of photography, is that, how do I put this? You never want to suppress your emotions. That's the way I look at it. Emotions are a good thing because they help keep you grounded and connected with the people that you're speaking about. You know, for me, photography in this, it's not about the camera. It's not about aperture and ISO and exposure. It's about connecting with your emotions and the emotions of others first, understanding the concept or the story that you're going to try and tell, and then allowing the technical knowledge of your photography to come into that. And I think if you and I and we can do that as a collective, our work is so much stronger. It resonates with ourselves at such a deeper level, but also I find that the people that you share your work with, when they look at it, they connect at a deeper level as well, which when that happens, you know, that is just the best feeling, you know, when you can create something that not only yourself is proud of, but also the people that you're going to share it with are proud of as well. So that's been the last couple of weeks that I've had. Yeah, some emotionally taxing stuff, but, and I can't quite share every image with you yet. I reckon I can share one with you, so I might even pop that one in towards the end of the blog here. And I can get into the how and why and what I was thinking about that photograph if you like at a later episode. But that's me for where I am at this moment in my week. Talk about looking after myself. I'm looking forward to spending tomorrow, which is a Friday. I'm not sure when this episode is going to come out, but tomorrow is a Friday. Now it's important that I spend the rest of my night and tomorrow just recharging a bit, because I've actually got a wedding on Saturday coming up. Now, without oversharing and talking too much about it, I also know that for the bride and groom, they've had a really, really tough few months, to be honest, but the last week or so, the bride's grandmother has passed away, the groom's father has passed away. So for them, I know it's, you know, while the wedding day is so many emotions within itself, largely of joy and happiness and warmth, I know that there'll be some sadness that comes with such an occasion, not having some really important people with them there. But why I talk about the recharging element and looking after myself emotionally and just for the sake of energy is so important, is because that I know that come to their wedding day, not only tomorrow afternoon when I catch up them to do a pre-inspection of their venue, but Saturday, I know that as a photographer and a storyteller, I can really genuinely offer them some support on their wedding day. And it's not like I have to be the one that's there, you know, with an arm around them all the time and trying to have a DNM. No, not at all. But what I can offer them is a really enjoyable experience where I'm going to go above and beyond and give my absolute best for them to make sure that my presence at their wedding day is not only one of taking beautiful photographs, but one of just making the whole experience all that more enjoyable where I can, and just giving my best self to them to make sure that their day is as beautiful as it can be, which I know it will be. I've seen a few photos of their venue, and I just can't wait to catch up with them tomorrow and then get stuck into the magic of a wedding day. So that's sort of been the week that's where I'm heading into in the next couple of days. Thanks so much for dropping by and checking out blog number 2 of the Breathless blog. Again, I don't know how it's happened, but by speaking so much, somehow I've managed to get my breath back and not go too croaky. If you've loved what you've seen, I'd love you to subscribe. And again, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts, be it as a photographer, be it as just someone who's interested in people's stories, or, you know, got some questions about the way I go about what I do and the interest I have with people and my photography. Throw them in the comments, send me an email. And until next time, thanks. This has been the Breathless blog. Over and out. See ya.